But
so we don't get taken down again. But it is what
I
it
think a
is.
major portion of the first live stream we did will still be up. It'll just get to
Yeah.
that point where we were sharing stuff
Yeah,
and they
no,
killed it.
it's still there. I went back to the Scorpion channel and it has like the first like 30 minutes or whatever, and then it gets taken down. So sorry about that, guys. For those of you guys who didn't, who were in that first stream, we got taken down because I was playing videos. I figured it was gonna happen eventually.
Oh,
It is what it is.
the link that you shared with me to send to
Mhm.
my brother, was that the one for the B Tech channel or for Scorpion?
I think it was a Scorpion. I don't remember,
Okay.
but I think it was Scorpion.
I'm gonna tell him that if he wants to come back in the chat, like just to
Yeah,
go
well,
back
if
to
you
the
want,
channel.
I'll send him a link. I'll send you a link for this one if you want. Let's see. Tell him he could just subscribe to me, and that won't be an issue.
Yeah.
Or at least subscribe
Yeah,
to the Scorpion Deathlock podcast over here. Let's see. But I'm gonna share the BTech link with you really quick. 1 second. I have like 10,000 tabs opened up. Which one is it? There it is, right there. There you go. I sent you the link for the live stream.
got it. And I'm going to Google Chat and grab it and send it to him.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did right now. He's probably like, "What happened?"
Yeah, he was telling me right now. He was like, I was wondering what happened. I'm like, yeah, YouTube being dicks right now.
YouTube being YouTube. I wouldn't say YouTube being you know what. I would just say YouTube being YouTube, and that's it. Like that's.
No, call him out on that. Like these days, I take so much crap from different companies. I'm just ready to call them all out on their stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially when you want to take a moment to just like honor somebody.
Yeah.
But we do understand that they wanna do damage control and make sure that people aren't doing anything crazy.
I'm not trying to make money off your videos over here, YouTube.
Yeah. I think that's like one of the things too, like because Facebook's pretty chill about it. As a matter of fact, I mean, as long like they'll hit you with not a copyright warning, but they'll let you dispute it, and the disputes is not hard to do because I get hit with them a lot, and all I do is I dispute back, and then I check Fair Use Act, and then I put in my little comment box, like I'm not monetizing this video or selling it or making money. I'm using this video strictly under Fair Use Act. And then 6 hours later to be like, oh, your thing was overturned and your video is now live for everybody to see. And I'm like, Facebook just be chill about it.
That's interesting. Well, I don't have my Facebook linked up with Restream anymore, unfortunately. So looks like we got a few people watching in the house. So I don't know if they're watching on the Scorpion channel or whatever. But
they killed us for the vignettes that we were showing. So like that's what happened. The WWE probably got wind. It was like, kill it, and so they shut us down. So we're not going to show those little clips anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I could get back on Twitter and continue to scroll down, but there's going to be video footage, and I just don't want the video to be taken.
I think it was 10 seconds or less. So if you just wanted to show people like how many people are like how this is trending and how people are responding, like going through it is fine. Just mute it so there's no sound and don't linger longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, I can share pictures at least. You know what I mean? Like this is a good one.
Yeah,
with him and Brody Lee, Luke Harper. For those of you guys who don't know, but a lot of people are still kind of shocked, right? Who would have thought that he would have died of a heart attack at 36? But I did have a friend that also he was a little bit younger. I think he was only 34. He passed away from a heart attack, but he was diabetic and he had some complications. An old roommate of mine, but I mean, this is pre-COVID, before all of that happened. So, again, this is a cool one right here.
Oh yeah,
I wonder if this was at the Rumble. I think this might have been at the Rumble, maybe.
It looks like it. Yeah, the way that he's dressed.
Yeah, because he has the face paint on. So that, I mean, I was so happy to be there, and I was so happy to see it live. And I had never gotten to see one of those specific entrances, especially at a live event. That was my first premium live event, and I'm glad I got to be there for his last entrance and last match. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, my brother posted in the comments. He says, "I was hoping it was a joke at first. Earlier, I just had a notification that Bray Wyatt has passed, and it took me by surprise.
So yeah,
search it up. Yeah."
I mean, I'm sure you found out from me because I remember messaging you directly about it, right? But I found out from another friend. I was actually out doing like a Walmart order. You know how I do my gig work and whatnot. And I was out doing a delivery.
I got my confirmation from you because I was seeing stuff about it like a little bit before you sent me it. Yeah. I was seeing stuff about it, but I was thinking like, you know how like when people said Tom Cruise passed away, or what's his name? What the heck's his name? Johnny Depp passed. I was thinking it's like one of those things, you know, like people were just trying to spread rumors because we were hearing, you know, that there was going to start hyping his return. So I was like, nah, he's coming back. What are people talking about? Then you sent me it, and I was like, oh, it is real.
Like, yeah, damn. I think it was confirmed once Triple H tweeted about it or X'd about it, whatever you want to call it, I guess. He
X Twitter. I don't know how we're supposed to like go about it with that platform. I mean, I know they changed the retweet name to repost. So
yes, I know that. I was waiting for someone else to say that. Well, if you do it, let's see. If you do it on here, I think it's repost. But for a while on the website, it still said retweet. But I think it happened first on the actual app itself, where it says repost. So retweet is now gone, guys. There's no such thing as an RT anymore. It never existed.
It's an RP now, and so like it just causes mass confusion for me because I'm also on Threads, and Threads when you reshare someone's post, it's put as repost. So then like sometimes I'm wondering if I'm on X or if I'm on Threads because they're so similar looking.
I don't really use Threads, so it's like I try getting on, and you know it's just whatever about it, but. Oh, okay. So there's some sort of video going on below here in the corner. Don't take my video down, WWE. It looks like a freaking. But this is a cool photo, though.
It is.
Bray Wyatt with his characters. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get.
Let's just hit YouTube with a disclaimer. We are not. This is not monetized. We are not selling this. No one's paying a subscription for this. They're using this under Fair Use Act. YouTube, back off.
So check this out, guys. Ric Flair went and tweeted about this. When your great friend and someone your son's age dies within 2 days, it really makes me reflect and think about life. Don't take any second for granted. Rest in peace, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. I think, I know his oldest son. I don't know how old he would be. I think his oldest son passed a while back, right? I believe, you know, he was battling demons also. So I know he took his own life. I think Charlotte is around Bray's age. I think she's 30, 34, 35 maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but she's around the same age, I believe. But yeah, Terry Funk, man, that guy's a freaking legend, man. Him and his brother, dude.
Yeah, Terry Funk. I mean, like seeing him brought back in the Attitude Era with Cactus Jack as he came out as Chainsaw Charlie, that was so cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, honestly. I really enjoyed what he did. With and for Mick Foley as well. Like, did you guys know that he took a freaking bump at that Hell in a Cell match for Mick Foley just to buy him time? I was reading about that, and apparently, that wasn't planned. Obviously, you know, he just got in Taker's ear, and he's like choke slam me and then tombstone me so that he can buy Foley some more time. So you know, he was already he passed away at 79. He took that bump at like the age of 50, man. Probably he was in his 50s already, man. So you know, having to take a bump like that, man, when he should have been retired, but the guy was literally wrestling up until like the past 10 years, I think. Before I think he got sick. You know, I think he ended up getting sick of like dementia or something like that. That's a good one of him and Brody Lee. That was when he won the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber. Yeah, I believe he pinned AJ Styles to win the title. By the way. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because I don't think he held on to the championship long after that. I think he ended up losing it at WrestleMania, if I'm not correct on that. You know, his first couple of runs were very short. I mean, none of his title reigns lasted very long, if I could be 100% honest. So, but I mean, the longevity of them don't really matter. It's like it's what leads up to it, and how, and like the story that leads up to it is what makes it. Like it kind of reminds me. He kind of reminds me of Mick Foley in a way, because Mick Foley was a 3-time. You know, WWE champion, and no one remembers him for his title reigns, right? But they just remember him for what he did for the company. And I think Bray Wyatt is one of those guys that he did a lot for the company, and he did a lot of memorable things, especially in an era where the attention span of this generation, is very hard to to keep a hold of, right? And I think he was very ahead of his time. I think he's like one of those generational characters that would have done well in any generation of wrestling.
Yeah,
and
the pop he got when he showed up with when he showed up on Raw with the title was great. Yeah, it was. There's people were really, really buying into what he was selling. Like he hooked you. Like I always refer to Bray Wyatt as Haley's Comet. If you didn't see him, you missed out.
Here's one from The Miz. The Miz tweeted this saying, the world lost a good one today. Bray Wyatt's telling ability, along with his unique creativity in the ring, was a force that kept your eyes glued to the television screen. Wyndham Rotunda's fun-loving free spirit paired with his infectious laugh is what I will truly miss the most. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and rest well, my friend. So there's a picture of him there, and that's kind of like the Fiend version. I guess this was the COVID era. Which I loved. Like I loved all of these. Even when the fans weren't there, I think this is where he truly got to, come out and have fun with his character as well. I think that was fun to watch.
Yeah, that sadistic Mr. Rogers is like, oh my god. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I think my one of my top 3 favorite entrances he's ever done was WrestleMania with the Scarecrows, where he animated them each one by one as he approached them with the lantern, and it was just like the way they walked was so crazy.
The one I remember is I think with the band that actually played his old intro. I believe. I remember there was a WrestleMania where he came out to that as well. So that was pretty cool. I think that was at a stadium event. If I'm not correct either, I think it was somewhere. I don't know exactly where. It could have been like Dallas or in California somewhere. But like looking at this picture, it looks pretty cool. We have a comment here by Catherine Cat Brock saying he was an amazing at storytelling. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
He was. And just like the Miz said, like he was one of those characters. And I mentioned this earlier. When you were watching him, you're glued to the TV. It's like you can't stop watching because you just have to you have to know what he's going to do next, because like he was just a very unpredictable character to watch. So he was very fun to watch. Let's take a look here. We got your brother commenting here.
Yeah, he likes to creep the choir on Raw. Gave him goosebumps.
Yeah, the little kid also, the little kid freaked me out a little bit. I was like, I remember watching that back and then, and I was like, what am I watching? And I probably didn't appreciate it like I did back then. Opposed to now, but I'm just like, man, like he was kind of making moments like that I didn't really appreciate at the time. So. Let's move on. Oh man, there's just a slew of comments here from wrestlers or people in the business, right? Rhea Ripley lost for words. Tommy Dreamer, I didn't think I had any tears left. So creative, so talented. Blessed to share the ring with him. Loved hanging with him when we were together. Let's see. I'm not sure if I showed the one with Alexa Bliss. She was in shock, extremely heartbroken, and at a loss for words. What I can say is what an amazing human being he was, an amazing kind of friend, and one of the most creative minds to ever walk this earth. Wyndham, you've brought so much joy and happiness to everyone around you. It's going to take me some time to really process this. Sending my love to the Rotunda family, JoJo and their babies. We love you. And he had 2 kids, I believe. He had 2 little boys, I believe. So I think she just gave birth this past year to their second child. So who knows? I mean, but it's just, everyone's still shocked. Everyone's at a loss for words. No, stop showing these videos. There's a picture. If you guys don't know, his wife, JoJo Offerman, I think her last name's Offerman, if I'm not correct on that. She was a commentary for WWE. She did backstage interviews, and I believe towards the end of her career, she was the ring announcer for a minute after. I believe after Brandy Rhodes left the company, she took over for, and she was good. I liked her a lot. You know what I mean? She's no. I mean, it's hard to compare her to the new girl. I think her name's Sandra Irvin or something like that, or what is it, Amanda Irvin? I forget her name. But she still did a great job for her time. So that was his wife. And they had two beautiful kids together. So let's see. And here's that iconic moment that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a quick sip of water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that was very very memorable moment. And Catherine, I agree. That's the biggest heartbreak. Him passing at such a young age, and his kids being without him. I can't imagine that. Samantha Irvin, my brother says yes. But this photo right here was a very memorable moment, and even though, like we were saying this earlier on before the first part one got killed off by YouTube, but like I'm wondering if Taker will ever, just because of what happened, if he would ever mention what he said to Bray in his ear in that moment. Like I'm sure that all the fans of Wyndham would really want to know.
I mean, I know you're curious about that, and I'm just peeping in here, but it doesn't bother me if I never know either. It's one of those things where now that he's gone, I think Taker's going to respect that, and he's going to take it to the grave with him as well. Maybe we'll see. Maybe there will be a diary that's revealed later on or something like that.
We can only assume, but it is what it is, right?
But yeah, this was a very good moment to watch.
It was,
and I really enjoyed it. It was, so we'll see. I'll be interested to see who inducts him into the Hall of Fame when he gets inducted. I didn't realize there was a video showing in the background bottom there. Hopefully they don't flag me for that.
You got some good people that interacted with him, man. It could be Alexa Bliss, it could be Randy Orton, it could be Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan. It could be any one of them.
Look at that.
It could be his brother.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense to have his brother induct him, or maybe his brother and his dad. Family members, and of course, maybe gets some maybe a little interview from guys like Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan. If they were to bring him back, I know Strowman's out with an injury right now. That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Of the original, three of the four original Wyatt families. I think the guy on the floor right there, that's Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Probably when they were feuding. Look at how big Strowman was back then, by the way, man. That's when he was around the 450 mark, man. He has lost a lot of weight. He's a lot thinner now. I think he's probably in the 360s. But
he's still pretty dominant. I mean, he's not given the name Titan for no reason, and this is from the out of the WWE promos that Wyndham was cutting on It Begins Again. And again, like I said, if anyone wants to see his work, go to that channel, It Begins Again, and watch those vignettes that he was making when he was out of WWE. They were amazing.
Yeah,
they're creepy too. Shoot.
This is a good one right here. I think I may have showed this one earlier, but this one they did it in black and white, so I like this one.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Gone too soon, but together again. Yep, that is very true. Gone too soon. That is for sure. Let's see. Okay, let's skip the videos. They just keep replaying some of the videos. I think we've already gone through some of these as well. Oh, there's the LA Knight one. Play it really quick. There's the face paint.
5, 4, 3, 2. Ooh,
it's only 10 seconds actually. So, but I'm gonna go back and play it. Let's see if we don't get kicked out. I'm gonna put it full screen, okay?
Sister Abigail.
The face he makes though is just woo.
Cover. Bray Wyatt.
Look at the face paint. That looks pretty cool.
And like I said, that was a genius idea. I know it wasn't the Fiend's mask that everyone loved, but that was just a whole different atmosphere of you're fighting you're staring at the monster dead in his face without realizing you are. It just takes a different type of lighting to see the monster that's hidden within. That's such a cool concept, man. I loved it.
Yeah, and if just like Tito mentioned earlier, if I'm trying to put my mouse over it so you guys can kind of see it, it's the number 6 on the side of his head.
Yeah, he always throws those things you just have to pay attention to find. He's not going to point it out and highlight it for you. And that's why, when he cut his promos, especially when he returned and he was telling people, people were finding the messages that he left behind for them. He was referring to his promos, as well as other things he did on social media that he was hinting at. And dude, he's got such an amazing mind, man. It's like,
yeah,
ugh.
It's frustrating because he, even though he had been in the company, at least on the main roster, for a good 10 years already. And even though he had done a lot up to this point, up until January, where he fought against LA Knight, again, he was just scratching the surface. He was one of those characters that, again, was just very dynamic in all the things that he did, and it was really just like, again, he was scratching the surface, and I really wanted to see what he was going to bring to the table, like within the next couple of years. I was really interested to see what was going to happen, but
I'm going to address it. I'm going to address this comment. Joys of San Joaquin Valley. It wasn't 3 number 6s. The 6 wasn't even any reference to any like satanic type thing. It was 6 members of his crew.
Yeah. Also, it was the Roman numeral number 6. It was like the V and the 1, I believe.
Yeah, the V and the I that makes the Roman numeral 6. Yeah.
So it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think there was nothing going on as far as like.
He never really touched that. He never really touched that side of things. Of when you think of his dark nature, his stuff was always just like on a different scale. It was never in a satanic way.
In a way, even though you look at the Fiend character like this, look at his polar opposite of that. It was this guy over here. Hold on, let me click that. So regardless of the scary looking character, we still got that, but
even when he was in his Mr. Rogers form, right, in the Firefly Funhouse, he was still creepy. Like he had the way of like, he's being cool, he's being happy, and all of a sudden his expression would just cold change right then and there, and he would give his little short message. Then he would snap out of it with the "Okay, guys, bye," and it was like he was amazing at that. Like,
I love that. That was like out of like Alfred Hitchcock movie or something like that, or something like that, where where he's very happy-go-lucky, and then he gets, like you said, super serious, and the tone in his voice also changed. I wish I could share like a promo of that as well, but again, like you can kind of see him here in this GIF right here. Let me see if I can click that. Okay, maybe not. Or he's having fun, but then it goes from that to just having like a stone sour face, and just having his voice tone change from like a high pitch to a very low pitch. So.
Yeah, he executed it well. Like, I mean, geez, it would shock me if someone said that he had to take acting classes, because it's just so natural that I would have never thought that he ever needed to practice that.
That's a good one.
I love that. I love that.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that is so cool. So hard for the reality to set in that he's not here, because even then, if they wanted to do some sort of thing, they really couldn't. I mean, they could. With Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan, they could do something that commemorates them, but they could never actually really bring full throttle the Wyatt family, because he is the heart of it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never see that again, unfortunately. I mean, unless, like you said, Strowman does something with that, and they bring back Eric Rowan. I just don't see them doing anything with the Wyatt family ever again. At least in WWE, I think I would be shocked if that did happen. I want to share this video, but I want to share that video, but I don't want to get flagged. Apparently, it's like his last words, I guess. I don't know. Should I play that or should I not?
Well, if it's not a kid, this should be fine. It's not WWE, right? Like that's
I don't think so.
Yeah, then this should be fine.
Okay, let's see what's going on. This might be like an old video or something from.
Let's take a risk.
Yeah, right.
I looked at my dad, my uncles, and my grandfather, who were all professional wrestlers. I looked at them as if they were Greek gods or something. Like they couldn't feel pain. They were immortal. They would always be just like that. And take it from me. Sometimes, when you're someone like that, it's incredibly powerful to remind them that they mean a lot to a lot of people. And And I hope everyone out there that's hearing this, I hope you take this from me. Be good to the ones you love. Always remind them about that and how much they mean to you, because nothing is forever.
It's interesting. Yeah, all true. Very true. And even that, I thought that promo that we watched earlier on the last stream where he was talking about like death and, heaven and hell, or, saying that, like for some of us, we're this is our hell, being on earth.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. I was like, it kind of went back to like what, I guess just his character in general, like how dynamic he was, and very interesting. And again, I wish I could play all these videos, but let's see. I don't think this one is.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. How you doing? Holy moms.
Look at that.
You are huge. Jesus.
How much you weigh, man?
325. Jesus
325, damn.
Abel got the ticket.
Wow.
That ain't good, though.
Wow, man. Thank you for coming back, bro. Oh, my God. Thank you so much,
God bless
man.
you guys, man. I'll see you in there. All right.
Oh, he remembered your name, bro. He remembered your name.
Well, all right, have a good one.
That's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
True. Oh, my
That kid's never gonna forget that, dude.
Oh,
I wonder. I'm
yeah.
trying to see where this was at. This was probably sometime after he returned. This is fairly recent from what I'm seeing, but that was pretty cool. In fact, one of my old podcast buddies, the one that we did I did a show prior to the Scorpion Deathlock podcast, right, with Tito. Let's make sure the stream's still up. But one of my buddies, when they came down for a show, he got to meet Bray Wyatt at Gold's Gym when they were working out, and he was able to take a picture with him. He was super nice about it also.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Of course, this is when Brody Lee passed away, but hopefully we see something like this, and I think even though he wasn't in AEW, I think the AEW even went ahead and posted about Wyndham Rotunda on the impact of his death as well. So maybe we'll see some sort of tribute thing. Of course, everything that's happening this weekend is pre-recorded because of All In. The Rampage show that we get on Friday, and Collision is also, I believe, pre-recorded as well. So, but pretty crazy stuff, guys. And again, they are dedicating a portion of the Peacock WWE version of that to him as well. So you guys can go and watch that.
No, Catherine says it reminds me of what Ultimate Warrior said just days before he died. Yeah.
Very much so. And it's crazy because, like, I feel like people, and I hate to say it, maybe people like are foreshadowing their death when they're saying stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because it's scary, but it's like, maybe a lot of them have found peace with God also, or the religion in general. Again, I'm not super religious, right? But when you see someone talk like the way they did, like the way the Ultimate Warrior did, the way Bray Wyatt spoke in a lot of his promos, not just in that clip that we just saw, right, but in a lot of his promos, you can tell that he's been like that for a while, and I think ever since Brody Lee passed away, he's been obviously, I think he's been a lot closer to his religion, whatever that was. I don't know how religious he was or whatever, but he was still hurting deep down inside, and I just feel like he never emotionally healed from that. Like he was still, you can tell every time he did a promo, when he came back that he was not there, and he was still hurting a lot. So,
yeah, I mean, they say this. I mean, I of course, I don't know, because like I watch myself closely in the things that I say, just because like I've heard it from like different people that I've spoken to about it, and they say sometimes, some people can actually like feel that it's almost their time, and you'll notice a big change in it just by the way that they speak and just how they're thinking about things and how the world appears to them. And that's just crazy.
It's nuts.
Where is Latrell? He was here a while ago, and then he probably dipped out. I don't know.
I never saw him comment. He's probably out there in
said
Wisconsin
yo.
or Wisconsin. He did. Well, I might have
Yeah.
missed it. Honestly, I might.
Yeah,
Have.
you go through your comments,
Let's
and
go
he
through the
said yo
comments. Yeah.
for.
Was that
Yeah,
from
there
the
he is.
first stream or this stream?
No, it's in this stream. It was like right. His is like right where my brother was talking about. It's been a rough week.
Latrell? What? I don't see him.
Yeah, keep going because I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the very top because I'm only seeing Michael Lokes and your brother. Oh, there it is, right there. Yo,
It
hey,
was
what's
just
up,
like yo,
Chisel? Yo, hey, yo.
if he's still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, 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 very interesting, very tough, and like cool thing was like and you might find it on YouTube, but like he did it when he did an interview. He actually talked about like does someone write for him when he does his promos, and shockingly enough, he said like they kind of give him an idea of what they're looking for, but his words are his words, and he's like it's so easy for him to do it because he in a way he kind of naturally thinks that way about the world. So like the stuff that you hear him saying. About us live like we're living in hell right now type of thing. Like that's really his thoughts.
Yeah.
It's not written by anybody in the back who writes. That's crazy.
I believe so. And here's a clip from when Brody Lee passed away, but I'm sure a lot of the people in the wrestling community are feeling this way as well as his other brother over here, Big Red, Eric Rowan. So I'm sure he's taking it pretty tough also.
Yeah, a lot of them. I think a lot of them are, and like if you were to really like commemorate them, and they wanted to bring the original members of the Wyatt family, like it wouldn't bother me to have Randy Orton a part of it, and Bryan Danielson a part of it, because even though like it was that storyline where they had beef at one point, he was part of the family.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't think I follow Bryan Danielson on Twitter. I don't think he has a X account or whatever you want to call it. And excuse me for getting this wrong earlier. I guess he has a daughter because I think this little one of them's in a dress here, and I think that's his son. So I might have confused that. I'm sorry about that. The first picture was a little misleading. But anyways, let's see. Again, I don't want to. I'm trying to just look for any little clip that we can find here. About him. Let's see. I don't think this is WWE.
No way, shape, or form. I'm trying to be Bray, and I'm trying to create my own legacy. So going forward, all these big matches and all these giant things that I've done and what I'll do in the future, it all will end with a message that I'll be remembered for. And I want one day for a young guy to find out that he is going to be wrestling Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and I want everyone in the room to come congratulate him. I'm not trying to become Undertaker. No way, shape, or form. I'm trying to be.
Okay, so that was an interesting one.
Yeah,
that, he wanted to be that guy that someone in their early career was fighting against like a top guy in Bray. So that's pretty cool. And he was. I mean, like I think at this point in his career, him and guys like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, they are the seniors. In the division when it comes to the company, right? All of those guys that came out of that crop of NXT characters under Dusty Rhodes. So in this case, he was at that point where like he could have started elevating young talent. And if you look at it already, look at guys like LA Knight, right? Guys that really were not over on the main roster. Prior to working with him, right? Really whatever they were doing with LA Knight really wasn't working. And, after the Royal Rumble, his character since then has been elevated. And even though he wasn't getting opportunities at the big ones like WrestleMania or, the last couple of premium live events, now they're starting to showcase LA Knight. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Catherine posted over here saying, I think he has children with another lady as well. I think he had a first marriage as well. He might have one or two kids from that. I don't know the full story on that, but yeah, I think he had other kids, which, is heart-wrenching for their families to lose their dad as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're super creative. Like both, him and his brother. I mean, his brother don't get much recognition. I don't know if anyone followed him outside on his YouTube channel. Like his brother can cook.
Yeah.
Like His brother had a cooking show on YouTube, and it was insane.
Mm-hmm.
I love the show.
Okay, these might be his other kids. The two smaller ones are JoJo's, but I think those are his two daughters as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so beautiful family there, though.
Yeah.
And there's that clip that we watched with the little boy. Not sure what's going on with that, but that looks like a WWE related thing.
Theater of fucking Worlds is here, bro.
Artist formerly known as Theater of Worlds.
Oh, the artist for me now. Yo, some new shit. Yo, congratulations, bro. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day. Holy shit.
Spending in LA.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I gotta say that to my fucking boy. Oh,
That's pretty cool.
the Eater of fucking Worlds is here, bro.
Artist formerly.
That's
And
pretty
you
cool.
can see he was getting into great shape too. Like he was.
Yeah, I
trimming
think.
down.
Well, prior to his last run, I think he was leaning. He had leaned out a lot. He was hitting the gym a lot. He had lost a lot of weight. I think in this comeback he did put on a little bit of weight coming back, but I mean it wasn't to the point where it's like but he was getting back at it. There's some pictures there.
Yeah.
That looks like a SmackDown event. Obviously because the SmackDown and the logos, but look at that. I wonder if that was a house show or what. Don't want to share these WWE clips. Sorry guys. Let's look at his accolades in the WWE. So he was a two-time Universal Champion, a one-time WWE Champion, and a Tag Champion on the main roster. I don't know if he did anything in NXT. I don't think he was a champion in NXT, but regardless, this was a guy that didn't really need any titles for his character.
Yeah,
and there was very few. There's a handful of wrestlers out there that you could say that they dropped the ball, that they never gave the title to. Guys like Roddy Piper, guys like Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, right back in the day. Maybe a few others, right? But I'm kind of glad that they did give Bray Wyatt an opportunity to hold a championship and be the top guy for the company, because he really was a ticket seller in my opinion. And hey, I mean, not a lot of people can say that they were to get to that top of the mountain in the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. So
yeah, I'm going to respond to a comment.
Yeah,
Joy the San Joaquin Valley says, I don't know anything about Wyatt's family. I'm pretty sure you've heard of his dad, IRS. I mean, if you watch wrestling back in the day, during the days of $1 Million Man, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan and all of them, then you will remember Irwin R. Shyster, IRS, who used to come out with the suspenders, the white button-up, black pants, briefcase, and he feuded with $1 Million Man at one point, didn't he? Like, besides working with him, he also feuded with him?
I don't remember if there was a feud, but I just remember him being with the $1 Million Man most of the time, at least, majority of the time. They were a little dynamic duo in itself. So, and I remember seeing him briefly in the WCW days as well. So, but I mean, regardless, that's.
Catherine dropped it. All you gotta do is just believe. You would do it, man.
It'll be an interesting dynamic if they actually do bring back like the Uncle Howdy character, and work with that. I guess. Just because I would be interested to see.
He could pick up the mantle and run with it, because he was doing a hell of a good job as Uncle Howdy. He played it very well. So he could. They could. They wanted to, but it's really up to him though if he wants to do it.
10 seconds. 1,
Oh
2,
yeah.
3. There's the fire match with Randy Orton.
I saw the clip on how they made that mask.
Yeah.
Like what they did to do it. That was pretty cool. Like he had the person that built that mask for him. I mean, they did a dang good job. And I remember people were throwing out rumors like, this guy that built the Fiend's mask also built mask for Slipknot, and I'm like, really? And I try to research that.
No, that's true actually.
IRS.
There's his dad. If you guys want to know where he got his size from, that's his dad was a big guy also. Oh yeah. So there he is. There's IRS.
He was fun. Like IRS's promos were kind of funny back in the day,
they were. Yeah, there's gonna be endless tweets about Bray Wyatt, guys, because he's still one of the top trended things for today. Look, now there's a not Bray Wyatt trending logo. There's a rest in peace Bray that's 20,000 posts.
I appreciate you doing that. Joys of San Joaquin's like putting in there for in the chat that this is not monetized. I appreciate him for doing
this. This is not a monetized stream, by the way, guys, because my last stream got taken down.
Yeah, Joyce is on it. He's on it. He's posted that I think like several times already. So I appreciate him for posting disclosures like that. That's nice. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and just see Joey Webster posting, "I can't sleep." Well, a lot of us might not be able to sleep tonight either, but I hope you can get some rest and put on some good music, relaxing music, and just try to relax and get some sleep, man. I mean, that's really important.
Yeah.
For everybody, we all need our sleep. Let's see, gone too soon.
I've been getting less sleep, dude. I think like the most sleep that I even get is like 5 hours. And
me too. Within the last couple of weeks, I've been only getting like 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night, honestly.
Yeah. Something's in the air, man, because I can't even get it if I try.
Yeah, I wake up every couple of hours, honestly. Like, I don't even get a full night's sleep anymore.
Yeah, I toss and turn quite a bit too. My watch tells me where to sleep to track my sleep. I love that photo right there. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's a good photo of all the boys there, and it, even though they were in a group like this, like all of the guys in the locker room love these guys. I remember Big E and the New Day. They all these guys loved each other. Like they're all family. They're all family to each other. So. Let's see. I wish I could share those promos, but those promos are so good. Damn you, WWE, for taking. This was a very strange bedfellow tag team, right? That led up to that fire match, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. And then
they were tag champions at one point, I believe.
And then Randy burned down the house.
Yep, I think that was also one of Bray's best feuds was with Randy Orton, because Randy Orton was just such a cold character back then also. Like, he was always a cold character, but like I feel like people don't give Randy Orton enough credit for being a bad guy. And if you can make a guy like Bray Wyatt a face, then even better.
Yeah. I'm gonna while we're going through this, what would you say are your top 5 Bray Wyatt memorable moments?
That's a tough one, honestly. I can't really share. I mean, I'll try to think of some at the top of my head. Obviously, for the number one.
Hang on. Let's scratch that. Let's not do top 5. But what are your most memorable moments of Bray Wyatt?
Okay, so my most memorable moments of Bray Wyatt, right, are again being able to see him live for his last match at the Rumble. That would be like my top one, because I was there. I got to see the awesome entrance as well. Again, the one with Bryan Danielson as well. That was a fun feud to watch. I think the moment that we saw with him and Taker as well, I think that was another where it's just like, this is it's an iconic and it's a very memorable moment that we're never going to forget. People that love to watch wrestling and the historians of wrestling are going to remember, right? What else? Obviously, I think that RKO and Wyatt bit also, like you said, when RKO burned down the house as well. Burning down Sister Abigail's casa over here. Let's see. I think the feud with the Shield was pretty memorable. Also, I think that was pretty fun to watch at the time, because they were both like the 2 top factions in WWE. Like you can kind of compare it to like the Bloodline and the Judgment Day right now, right? Those are the 2 top factions in WWE. Probably a close third would be Imperium, right? But at the time, there was very little factions back then in WWE. Those were basically it. Now it's like, I think WWE is starting to get back into, making factions or, keeping teams together for a really long time. So I think that was one of them as well. What about you, Tito, since we're getting on the topic of, Bray moments here?
It's like my favorite Bray moments. One would be the debut when they transitioned out of NXT onto main roster, like the first promo they cut, and then him in a rocking chair that day, and then we're here, and the lantern blowout was just memorable. The standoff with the Shield, that was amazing, because I didn't care which team was face or heel. It didn't matter to me. It was just like, it was epic. I didn't want either team to lose. So I was like, I don't care who wins or loses here, but just get it on, you know?
Yeah.
So that was one when he teamed up with Matt, and
they had that the Woken team, I guess.
Yeah, that my favorite promo out of that one was when they crossed paths with Jeff, and he referred to him as Brother Nero.
Yeah,
that was cool. The very first when he came out as the Fiend, that's memorable to me.
That was pretty cool when the lights went down. Also,
yeah, and then like I said earlier, the whole WrestleMania intro with the Scarecrows. The White Rabbit song that would play, signaling his return, upcoming, to when he did return, and the return actually too as well with the whole door, and it just gave me that whole Insidious vibe.
That was awesome. I loved it. I loved the light behind the door. Also, it was just like you're watching. It's like you're watching a movie, and you can't stop watching. It's just like, what's gonna happen? What am I gonna see? What's going to come out the door? Is it going to be him? Is it going to be some sort of figure?
My daughter's she's a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. So when I told her earlier today when she got home from school, she was like heartbroken. But it was funny because when she saw his return, that's how she referenced it. She was like, he came back from the further, and I'm like, this is not Insidious, but hey, it kind of works.
Yeah.
My last memorable moment with him was when he started doing that, where they started showing I guess in a way the possession of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
she was
I love that, dude.
And when she appeared in her newfound look side by side with him, and he put his hand up and she put her hand in his hand, and she was just so spaced, gone in her mind.
Yeah,
it was chilling.
What I loved about that is it was kind of it wasn't just an immediate transition. It was a weekly thing where her character would just get darker and darker and darker until you saw
it was a good build.
It was a very good build. I think that they did a very good job with that. And I mean, obviously she's not with the company right now. She's pregnant. Congratulations to her, right? She's going to have a baby soon. Yeah. So who knows if we're going to see her return to the ring, but who knows if she's going to do a Becky Lynch type deal where she comes back. But I would be interested to see if she comes back and kind of uses that character in a way as well. I think
she will,
to pay homage to Bray Wyatt. I'm sure more than one person will do it also.
She will pull it off. If I make a prediction in the future of WWE when Alexa comes back, if she comes back, just as her, that's totally fine. I love her character. I love the way that she is, but I can kind of see her always paying homage to him by if she's in a feud and it gets too extreme, to the point where she's got to pull out that dark side of her, she's going to do it, and fans are going to gravitate because they're going to immediately think the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And I think that's how they'll play it out with her.
That could happen. I just hope it's not to the point where they don't try to think it's a knockoff of when Finn Balor does the demon, whenever he does it, which he doesn't really do anymore, but still.
Yeah, you got to really push him to that breaking point. However they do it and pay homage to him, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be a thing that's we pay homage now in the next 6 months and then it slowly starts to fade away until the company just doesn't acknowledge it. I think once in a while throughout the years they kind of bring it just to keep his legend alive. I think would be fine.
Yeah, let's check this one out. This is somebody that looks like somebody filmed. It's just a small clip.
Oh.
Okay, that's kind of loud. Oh, it looks pretty cool. Looks like he had defeated somebody. I can't really see who's in the ring there. I think it's Finn Balor, actually. It looks like Finn Balor.
That was a pretty good match, and it spooked everybody. The fact, and it's that they wouldn't let Finn get hurt in real life like that, but people got freaked when he did the neck snap on Finn. You didn't see a wrestler. You don't see any wrestlers doing that at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it's are you trying to kill him? Literally, what's going on? But let's see.
That was so crazy. I remember when I saw that, my jaw dropped. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was nice of him to. Well, I mean, I think they do that with a lot of the front people people in the front crowds. But looks like Miro. Let's see, Miro is talking about him.
I don't know what to say. But I remember how I met Bray. I met him at my tryout, WWE 2010. You know, when everybody gets in the ring, like before the show, and everybody's kind of trying new moves and, you know, trying to figure things out. And I was just an extra on the outside. And I remember Taker called me in the ring because Bray wanted to try some new moves. So that's how I got to meet Bray for the first time. Husky Harris at the time, I believe it was. And I got to sit in the corner, and he gave me that big cannonball over and over and over until Taker was happy with it.
Oh gosh.
Man. But he was such a nice guy because, you know, he took care of me, of course, never hurt me, never did anything. I got signed to WWE, went about a year later to FCW down in Florida. And I never expected anybody to remember me. You know, I was there for like a brief 30 seconds or 30 minutes or whatever it was at the tryout. But I remember Bray or Wyndham, as soon as he saw me, he was like, hey, I remember you. You were at SummerSlam. You know, I did all these moves. And they make me just feel so good, man, because, you know, especially going a new guy in a WWE developmental, like, you know, and all you hear is like people step on toes and like trying to get your job, and you feel insecure as soon as you get there. Especially me, when I was working just like maybe 3 years in the business, I was green as a grass. But Bray just saying that just made me so much more like welcomed. And that's who he was, man. He was a guy who just made you feel welcomed. It was so like, he could be so gentle and be so aggressive at the same time, but you can have any kind of conversation with him. His brain never stopped working. And, you know, just, I remember I just showed my wife, like, one of my first matches in FCW was against Bray. And, man, so many memories. But yeah, not a sad day. Very sad day. We all love Bray. We love your family. We're gonna miss you, my man. Rest easy, rest in peace. Say hello to Brody. And we'll see you when the time is right.
That was nice.
That was very nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that. That was from Miro's IG. I guess this girl just copied it over. You know, some not all of the wrestlers use social media, obviously, but I'm sure within the next couple of days we'll be seeing that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I don't know this.
Yeah. Catching flies in his mouth, tasting freedom while he dares, then crawling back to the top of the stairs, He won't see the sun again for years to come. He's broken out in love.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and that intro is always catchy. You always want to sing along with it. I mean, if you know the words.
Very much so. All right. Well, I hate to wrap things up, guys. I think we could talk about Bray all night. I do got to I got to be up for work at 6 a.m. So right now it is a little after 11 my time. I know Tito's got a little more time on his side than I do, but I'm sure he has to get up early to take his kids to school tomorrow also.
Yep.
You know?
Yep, I do. And I'm an old man, so I go to sleep early.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess, let's go ahead and get rid of the thing here for the page. Any last thoughts or any last comments you want to share about Bray Wyatt before we get off here tonight?
If anything, that can be taken away from it, is and like not in a very cliche sense, but you really do need to cherish the ones that matter to you in your life, and really hold on to the things that matter, even if they seem trivial. Hold on to them because you just never know when you're going to go. And he was a larger than life person, and so it's just like, for him being gone, it's always going to be a real big spot missed in WWE, because I know that I'm just never going to get that again. He's not going to walk through those curtains. He's not going to come out with the lights out. It's a tough thing, but just cherish your life. Don't take your life for granted.
Yeah, I think the thing that I can take away from him, is that he was a very a kind individual, outside of the ring. And, I think we should all, try to be kinder to everybody, anyone that we come in contact with, right? You don't know what anyone's, you don't know their history, right? You don't know if they're going through depression or going through a hard time. Even if you're having a bad day, try to look the other way and just try to be nice to somebody. Try to be treated the way you want to be treated. Take risks, when you want, when you have to, I guess, because I think that's something that, we saw in these video packages also, that he was a risk taker, and, he, didn't go in a straight line, but it obviously worked for him. I think, not everyone's path is different. So, don't be afraid to take risks and, move on to do different things, try different things. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. Be there for your family and friends. I think that's the thing that I'm getting out of what's happening here today, and just in general. But I definitely want to share that, and I definitely want to thank you for being here. And coming on here with me tonight, man. It's been quite a emotional storm, and hopefully we'll see how SmackDown goes tomorrow. We'll share our thoughts with that. I'll give you a text tomorrow. Hopefully it's a good show.
Yeah.
Hopefully they give a good tribute.
One last thing.
Mm-hmm.
If those that watch the replay, if you guys made it all the way to the end, #follow the buzzards.
#follow the buzzards. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Firefly Funhouse also.
Yeah, Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hurt and Fiend.
Hurt and Heel.
Yeah. Wyatt 6 also,
Yeah.
But the original was Follow the Buzzards, so definitely.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, you all have a great night. Thank you all for watching. Michael Logue, Latrell, Catherine, everybody that was here tonight. I think your brother also, Mr. Ruben, right?
Yeah,
was here as well. So, thanks again for joining in. Smash that like button, and hopefully you get more from us. But you all have a great night. Thanks again for watching.